Police officers today have a lot of responsibility. Many people don't know what happens after they put the handcuffs on somebody and they put them in the car and they take them away. Many people don't know what happens next. And that's what I want to talk to y'all about today is corrections in the United States. The world and different many countries have many different aspects of corrections that they use, but today I want to specifically focus on corrections and what that means in the United States. I have done many hours of research. I have even talked and did an interview with the head of public safety at South Piedmont Community College. I took a 16-week course with her, Miss Deborah Barrett, also the head of public safety at South Piedmont. And she did 20 years at Alexander Prison working as a correctional officer. So she knows what she's doing. I also have looked at many news articles and articles online to get this information. I have also got to go to Central Prison in Raleigh and take a tour there, and also go to and interview the head of security there, Officer Raymond, and I highly recommend if you ever get to go. Very nice person, very nice facility. It was very informative. So today, the 3 points we're going to be talking about today is what the corrections department does, like why we punish. Next is going to be the history of corrections, where it's come from and where it's at today. And lastly, some of the different programs that the corrections department offers those who are in prison or in jail, but mainly prison. So now that we've talked about that, the first thing we're going to talk about today is what the correction department does and the why we punish. So there's a few different reasons why we punish. The first reason is going to be a deterrent. And Miss Deborah Barrett, the head of public safety, actually gave me this example. Let's say the punishment now, if you were caught speeding, is now your license taken away. I don't know about y'all. I definitely wouldn't speed because I like to drive. So people wouldn't be speeding anymore. And so that would offer as a deterrent. Next is going to be to simply get them off the street. We all know that people think that, we're just sending them to prison to lock them away. And honestly, part of that is true. I mean, we don't want all the bad guys running around committing all these crimes and murders and stealing. We don't want that. And lastly, and the main reason why, is for rehabilitation. We want them to go to prison to take these programs that I'll talk about later, but to take these different programs to get them to a better point of life. And again, we'll talk about all that later. So now that we talked about the why we punish and why we send people to prison, I now want to shift our focus to where corrections department has come from, where it's been, and just kind of where it's at today. So first, back in the colonies, when someone was accused of committing a crime, they'd go to a prison house, and it would just simply look like a normal house, but they would go there and it would be no cells, just an open floor plan, and all these people would be in there. This included the children, the women, and the men. They'd all stay in there together, which I know that y'all thinking that that's pretty bad. It's because it is. So after they were sent to trial and they were found guilty of committing that crime, they would go to this thing called a prison ship. And what it would do is they would send anywhere between 50 to 100 men, women, and children out on these boats into the sea, and they'd drop anchor there, and they just let them sit there. And there would be no food, no medicine, no water, no place to go to the bathroom. They would simply just sit there and die. And I'm sure y'all are thinking, you can just jump off and you can come back. No, it didn't work like that either. There were people waiting, just asking them to jump off the boat. They would be shot on sight. No jury, no trial. It would just be execution. They would just kill you on the spot. So now what we have today is we send them to a jail, and that's where they would wait for their trial. After the trial, they would go to, if they were found guilty, they'd go to prison. After they serve out their sentence, we would send them to what's called a halfway house, and this is to get them acclimated to what life is going to be like outside of prison. Instead of just forcing them out into the street and just saying good luck, we're putting them in this halfway house, helping them find a job, getting them just the basic necessities. That way, instead of just putting them out there, they'll know of how to act, how to live, to give them a good place to go, get them a good stable job. Now, they aren't allowed outside of their county and their area and their district, but it helps them just, again, like I said before, get that stable life, get that stable income. That way they can help pay their court fees, their child support, get them even a car, just helping them get a better life. So now that we talked about where the corrections department has come from, where it's been, and where it's at today. And lastly, I want to shift our focus on the different things that we do for them while they're inside the prison, or what the correction department does for them, the different programs it offers. So one of them is NA, which stands for Narcotics Anonymous. It's for those who have been abusing drugs and have had a problem with addictions with drugs. They'll send to this class to help them get out of that addiction. Another one is AA, Alcoholics Anonymous. Pretty much the same thing, just with alcohol. Those who have abused alcohol, who is addicted to drinking alcohol, give them that help to get them just a better life and help them out of them circumstances of just having and needing to drink. Lastly, what we do is we actually, and there's several more of them, but there's one more I just want to talk about, is the GED program. This is like the high school equivalency, and what we do is we send them to take these classes, and that way they can help get this better education to get them a better life, because unfortunately many of these inmates have never graduated high school, and to get a good stable job you either have to be a graduate of high school, have your GED, or be in high school, especially these entry-level jobs like fast food. All of them now are requiring that. So if they have that GED or their high school equivalency, that'll give them a much better chance of getting a better quality of life. Alright, so to conclusion, just to go over my main points, we had talked about why we punish, the different theories that we have of why we do it. Next, we talked about where the correction department has come from and where it's at today. And lastly, we have talked about the different programs that the correction department does to help those inmates get a better life.